The biggest turning point in NBA history was not the Bulls taking Michael Jordan, or a coin flip landing tails giving the Lakers Magic Johnson. It's when LeBron James ripped the heart out of Cavs fans on live TV, taking his talents to South Beach. He won titles in paradise while getting paid. So other stars were like, I'm gonna do that too. Unrestricted free agency started in 1988 and star players changed teams, but LeBron broke the league. Every year we saw a star pick his new team. The peak was in 2019 when KD and Kyrie chose Brooklyn, Paul George and Kawhi chose LA, Jimmy Butler to Miami. Notice anything? They're all glamour markets. If you're not LA, New York, or Miami, you're pretty much screwed. But then it got really out of hand. Players felt so entitled to get what they want. They said, who cares about my current franchise? I want a new team. So Anthony Davis demanded a trade to LA in the middle of the Pelicans season, screwing their year. James Harden wanted to go to New York, so he showed up to Houston fat and out of shape. Ben Simmons sat out a whole year because he didn't like his mean teammates anymore. This is ridiculous. Don't contracts mean anything? Are these guys children? A lot of fans said, forget the NBA, I am not watching a bunch of spoiled millionaires cry about not getting what they want. But you know who is angrier? Team owners. So they secretly hatched a plan to get revenge. Oh, they didn't say you can't change teams, no one would agree to that. They were a lot more sneaky. So on April 26th, the NBA announced new rules with the CBA. No one made a huge deal about it at the time, but actually, it changes everything. The league will be unrecognizable in a few years. There are a lot of changes, but the biggest rules are about super teams. Some people say the super team era is now over, but that's not true. Those people don't understand the new rules. By next year, everything will change for expensive teams like the Warriors and the Clippers. They can no longer use the mid-level exception. Doing trades will almost be impossible. Can't sign buyout players. And if they stay expensive, we'll have the last pick in the draft automatically. Like when the Warriors sucked in 2020, but they got the number 2 pick. Not anymore. They would get sent to the back of the draft no matter what. So to put it simply, if a team gets too expensive, all they can do is re-sign their own guys or sign crappy minimum contracts. That's it. You can't trade, you can't sign good role players. Oh, you can have a big 2, but you'll be like the Suns last year. Devin Booker, KD, and a bunch of scrubs. No one can win with that. So that is how the NBA owners killed the LeBron era of player empowerment and stopped super rich owners from spending too much. They did it sneaky. Guys like Ben Simmons and James Harden took it too far. So they were like, oh, you guys like teaming up together, huh? Not anymore. In the future, contenders will look like the Suns or the Nuggets. Suns were 3 max players with 0 depth. The Nuggets were put together smart. One big superstar, a really good number 2, elite role players, and an overachieving guy on his rookie deal to save money. This will open it up to any team with a smart front office. Tons of teams are about to win their first ever chip because talent's going to be spread around the league. But there are still 2 ways to have a super team. The first way is for superstars to take pay cuts. Oh, Luka, Anthony Edwards, and Giannis want to be on the Lakers with good teammates? Not if you don't take a pay cut. At least 2 of them would have to make half their original salary. That's not gonna happen. So the second way is to draft your super team. In the future, the only way 3 good stars will be surrounded with depth is if the stars are super young. We could see organic super teams like the 2015 Warriors, but once all 3 of them are really good, somebody has to go or they get punished. I know it's sad to think that the super team era is over because honestly, I had a lot of fun seeing the superstars team up, but it's not sad for most of the league. Like outside of LA, New York, and Miami, you are loving this. But I want to explain why the CBA is about to wreck the league already. We're about to see a ton of teams let really good players go. There's big problems with the Clippers, Warriors, Bucks, Heat, Sixers, and Celtics. Now to explain this, Look at what the Hawks just did. In 2025, they already have Trae Young making $43 million, but DeJounte Murray, Onyeka Okongwu, and Sadiq Bey are up for new contracts. So if they want to stay out of the danger zone, somebody has to go. So Atlanta had to get rid of either Clint Capella, DeAndre Hunter, Bogdan Bogdanovic, or John Collins. So they chose Collins, but they got back basically nothing. They had to cut salary. Now that doesn't sound too bad if you're the Atlanta Hawks, but what if you're a legit championship contender? The Bucks are expensive, but they have two key free agents, Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez. Unless Brook wants to play for free, Giannis is about to lose his starting center. The Miami Heat are just $4 million away from the danger zone, but Max Strus and Gabe Vincent are free agents. If they want to keep both guys, they're gonna have to let go of like Kyle Lowry or Tyler Hero. But what about the Warriors? Right now, they have a tough decision with Draymond Green. So to sign him, they had to dump Jordan Poole's long-term salary. But what about Clay in 1 year? People are worried that they're gonna lose Draymond. Yeah, they're about to do this all over again next year with Clay. If he doesn't want to take a pay cut, he's gone. But not enough people are mentioning the other changes in the CBA. Everyone's focused on the super team thing, but the NBA is basically saying, look, we'll punish you if you're too expensive, but if you spend responsibly, there are no rules. Okay, there are rules, but it's a lot more fun. First up, for teams under the limit, they get to make trades way easier. You know how people will mess around on the trade machine for like an hour to try to make the salaries match? Not anymore. They can basically do any small trade that they want, and big trades are easier to do too. Also, every exception becomes a trade exception. So if you want to trade a guy into your mid-level, no problem. That used to be just for free agents, but now it works for trades. We're going to see so many more trades. They also have a minimum games requirement for awards. So if you want MVP, play 65 games at least. That should cut down on load management. So the CBA fully kicks in 2 off seasons from now. Until then, teams are gonna scramble to reshape their rosters to adapt, so the next 2 off seasons are gonna be insane with trades. But whoever figures out this new CBA first has a huge competitive edge over everyone. But what will happen to Draymond? He actually has interest from other teams, and I broke down the latest on his future. Check it out.